how come most startups fail, even when we have more tactics and strategies than ever before. Join the bedside chat of an entrepreneurial couple as they share what it takes to create a business with ease and in flow.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Biz in Flow bedside chat. I'm Natasha Koo.
And I'm Jachym.
And we're back.
Back. What do you want to talk about today?
I was going to ask you, what did you learn today?
Well, I actually didn't do much. You went for a hike, and I was by myself, really. So there wasn't much learning as such.
It's not as such, it's just no learning. I didn't learn shit today, is what you're trying to say. I didn't have any learning as such, really, Jachym?
Well, as such, in the sense of business things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, lately I have been experiencing more kind of stillness and peace in my life. And that's been nice.
Is that just a feeling you have, or does it translate into action, or how you then kind of react to life or live life?
It does translate into how you live life, because lots of the mind chatters just falls away, and lots of the urge of wanting to be entertained and all of that falls away. So there's less consuming, there's less busyness in the head, there's more stillness and more sitting and more connection and compassion and love.
I want to ask you something.
What?
Quite a few years ago, you were just addicted to more trainings and more courses and more learning. Learnings. And today, yes, you had your multiple coaches or people you work with, you attend retreats and all that kind of stuff. Or, just this year, you also had the detox and things like that. So I want to ask you, what made you stop pursuing or chasing all these shiny new courses?
Well, there just comes a time, or there came a time for me where I felt like I have learned enough for now. I've studied enough from people, and it is time to teach now. It is time to share what I have learned, what I have seen. And of course, I will keep evolving, but it's less in this kind of, I need the next technique or the next kind of course or something like that to show me, because I found what most people are looking for on this planet their whole life. And when you have found what everyone is looking for, what you have been looking for all your life, well, then the seeking kind of stops.
That's interesting, because I was talking to a potential lead today, and this person was quite obsessed with the idea of continually growing and continually learning. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with growing and learning. That's what we do. That's what we share every day, right? But it just has this tinge of emotional aspect where it felt like if she didn't do it, that makes her somehow less worthy or less important, or it's like something she must do to keep up with something. I don't even know what it is. It is to keep up with, because learning is learning. You gain more experience, you know a few more things, and that's it, especially when it comes to trainings and kind of courses and professional development and things like that. But there was just this feeling of, well, it's not enough if I just settle and I no longer keep pushing myself and to do things and to become better in a way. So I don't know. I know that everything I just said. If you take it literally, it's never a bad thing to keep growing and to keep learning. But it's just a feeling I got that I believe is not just a feeling that only this person has. I believe that quite a few people are under the impression that they keep needing to build and add on to what they know and continually grow, or else something bad will happen. And I don't know what that is.
It's a self-improvement trap, really. I mean, it is, for whatever reason, we human beings feel like we have to consciously pursue things in order to grow. And actually, everything in nature is designed to grow. You are, as a human being, are designed to grow.
It takes effort to stop the growth, right? Or stop the evolution, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. You are in constant motion. And you don't have to constantly be pushing yourself in order to grow. You will grow anyways. And the self-improvement trap is often linked as well to this whole idea that there is a better self to get to, there is a better moment to get to, there is a brighter future to get to. And of course, you can have more things, you can have more money, you can have more time, you can have more friends, you can have all kinds of things. But those things are not determining how fulfilled or happy or peaceful you are, which is what we are actually really seeking. Most people are unaware of it, but that's what you're actually seeking. And so when you create the conditions, you get better at something and you feel momentarily more peace and all of that, maybe for a while even, and then the seeking starts all over again.
Mm-hmm. And yes, maybe it just feels good, but it's also the trap of like feeling accomplished, right? You do something, you're like, oh, I'm at the next level, I feel accomplished, I feel like I've actually done something.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this pattern all the time of people just keeping themselves extremely busy just to feel like they're accomplishing something. For me, I had this, time in my life where I was really empty inside. And I was really trying to fit in. I was really trying to feel like I was worthy, I was wanted, and that I was important. So what I did was to look up all the things that I could do as much as I could. I filled up my calendar, and somehow I got this emotional boost every time I looked at how busy I was. It's as if like I'm desired. And every time I go to a new event or push myself to do something new, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm living a full life. I'm living life to the fullest. But now that I think back to that period of time, I don't think that was fulfillment. It was more like me filling a hole within myself. I just didn't know what I was trying to fill. But this sense of like keeping so busy, trying to do things to get that sense of satisfaction or sense of accomplishment, at least I tried to be busy, I tried to do all the right things to feel good, to feel accomplished, but it didn't really give me that. Because there's this like perpetual cycle that you have to keep making your calendar really full.
So what changed for you that you went from I feel empty and I need to fill this hole and all of that? What changed that you now don't have to do that?
Well, it's been a long time. So it's really hard to pinpoint like multiple moments that helped me, I guess, be the way I am now.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just the moments, but your perspective, like...
Well, the what do you call it? But when it's really seductive to have new activities to do. I mean, all humans love new experiences and just new adventures. That's just fact. We love that. We like to experience something new. So when I signed up for loads of events and I could meet new people and I could explore new places, first it was exciting and it was fun. Because I was meeting strangers, I was establishing new connections, I was getting to do new things I've never done before. So at the beginning I had this like fresh feeling of like, ooh, this is exactly what I need, this is fun, this is giving me what I want, this is even better than what I thought. But over time, as you try to keep up that kind of calendar or everything that you committed yourself to become busy and to try to fulfill yourself with, I began to notice, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to go to this event. Or I didn't even enjoy that much. Or why am I even going? Like, why am I so busy? And you just begin to question, like, well, do I really even want to do this? At some point, it kind of clicks in, like, well, do I want it at all? And if you don't, you're like, well, why did I even sign up for it? So then you kind of start deleting things off, and you're like, well, that was weird, or like, well, what do I replace it with now? So this kind of reflective process of going, well, if that's not giving me what I want, or at least like even the satisfaction lowers over time, right? If you just keep doing the same thing, or and when you believe that thing will give it to you, over time you're like, well, what's the point? What am I trying to do?
And so how is it for you now?
Well, I do like a routine. I do like it. I like to have my list to do, to not feel like I'm scrambling for direction. I like to have clarity. I like to have a focus that I can move towards. That's for sure. So that doesn't mean that there's nothing on my calendar these days, or that I don't commit myself to new things. But I don't find myself trying to fill my day or my calendar just for the sake of it. I can't say that I choose everything I do intentionally throughout my day. I definitely don't. Like, I'm not like a perfect human like that I'm so mindful. Every step I take, I know exactly what I'm doing.
But let me just pause you. How do you feel then in terms of fulfillment compared to before?
Well, to be honest, I'm quite fulfilled in many moments throughout the day. And where before it used to be this feeling of I'm going to work and I saw everyone in their suits or whatever, business casual, smart casual clothes, and I just felt like I was a part of this, I don't know, group of people who were white collar, and we were walking with purpose in the morning towards work, whether we felt it or not, but it felt like I was with everyone doing the right thing. So it used to be like I found fulfillment through moments like that. I would have this extra spring to my steps because like I felt energized by that, by the whole crowd of us going. I know it sounds weird, but it's like when you're in a school of fish, even if the fish have no clue individually what the heck they're doing, you still feel the energy of everyone moving to shiny new buildings and things like that, enter to their offices for work. So, there were moments where I was fulfilled in that way, in the mornings, going to work, or when some goal was accomplished at work, or I was praised for something I did, or when a friend or a certain relationship shows up well, like someone gives me something, or I share a good dinner date with someone. But it was like those fulfilling moments were like these highlights that came up from time to time, and it wasn't like how it is today, where it's more continuous, and it doesn't matter if I'm sitting on a toilet or just going for a walk or working with you or any of these things. It just feels better no matter what it is that I'm doing. So it's not like, oh, life is pretty bad, and then suddenly I get what I want, so I feel fulfilled, or someone shows me that I'm important to them, or that they love me or care for me. I feel good, I feel fulfilled suddenly. Or we accomplished something for business, yay, I feel so fulfilled. It doesn't spike like that.
So it sounds like you have become more independent of circumstances and what's going on in your life, and fulfillment actually has become more of a normal feeling, rather than something that's extraordinarily only in those rare few moments.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially moments where they're influenced by something outside of you, like an accomplishment at work, or someone else showing you something that you want. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how so many people are trying to find fulfillment through all kinds of activities and filling their lives with meetings and appointments and seeing friends and doing XYZ and all of that.
Is it weird?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Well, I guess I kind of see it like this. It's like, say you have you just have this, like, I don't know, a basket that's actually meant for something else, but you're like, oh, it's empty, and you're under the impression that it needs to be full for things to be okay. Like, it just can't be empty. Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna freak out and you're gonna start shoveling stuff into that basket, and it doesn't matter what you're shoveling in there. Let's just get it full ASAP. Let's just get it full. Let's get it full. It's not okay. It's not full. Then you just shove anything in there. You're like, oh, it's full, thank God, for a moment. Or maybe then it kind of drains itself again. You're like, oh, no, it's not full. And so you just scramble and just put anything in there. And I think if you're under the impression that, you know, something is terribly wrong and you gotta fix it, and you just gotta fill it with whatever you know, then you're just in the scrambling mode. You're just trying to fix it with what you have, and you just do what you think is right. And you don't really settle into a deeper sense of, well, what is the basket for? Is it maybe just for me to capture me enjoying being in flow with life moment to moment, and it's just this continual container where my beautiful experiences in life pass through, versus something I have to keep at a certain level so it makes me feel like I'm there, I'm okay, you know. And I think that as long as we feel like we need to keep something up in order to feel okay, we'll do all sorts of strange things, right? And find strange ways to try to accomplish that.
You know, it always comes back to the same thing in my view, and that is that people just forget and ignore the fact that, yes, there are experiences that you're going through, but those experiences are not responsible for your feelings. They forget that they are involved in the experience. They forget to look at where the experience is coming from, how it's created within them at any given time. They, like, we just think, oh, you know, this thing has to give us the kick. So let's take, for example, relationships, right? You're like, oh, the other person has to give me the kick. Now I don't feel the butterflies anymore. I guess it's time to change. Change person. And so you keep changing people because after some time it feels like it's wearing off. Well, if the person was responsible for the kick in the first place, it wouldn't wear off. They could just press the button, give you the kick. If the cause is in the person, they would always be the cause of it. But it's not the case, and you'll see people who have been in long time relationships and they still has lots of love, lots of juiciness in the relationship, despite them having been together for years. And so, you know, when we see that the whole mania of having to change and fix circumstances to our needs stops, it doesn't mean that we have to stop, you know, changing our circumstances. There's value in changing circumstances, but they don't come from the place anymore of a lack and having to have circumstances in a certain way so I can feel finally okay.
Quite enslaved by this, the feeling that you have to keep filling that basket.
Yep.
Because that basket literally has no power over you. You just believe that you can't be okay unless you do certain things. And that just sounds so tiring.
Yeah. So maybe you'll be better off giving up the pursuit of happiness and fulfillment, because the more we pursue those things, the more elusive they seem.
Shall we talk in the next episode about where fulfillment really comes from? Because all we did today was really, you know, pound on the nail that well, if trying to fill your calendar with all sorts of stuff, with just things to do because you think doing more random things is going to give you that feeling, that sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. And how, well, sometimes, as I experience myself, it just doesn't give you that. And also how finding spikes in your life to highlight and go, oh, that was a happy moment, oh, that was a moment of fulfillment. Well, is that true fulfillment if you're only finding that feeling from time to time and it's so externally based? So what do you think?
That sounds like a good idea.
And I think I just wrapped it up without you asking me to.
And that's fantastic. We are in sync and in flow.
Oh boy.
I wish you a wonderful night.
And we're off to bed. My body needs to regenerate from walking for so long. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And if you want more resources and you want to tap into your own fulfillment within your life, even if you don't feel it right now, there's always a way to get in touch with it. And Jachym and I are really, really, really dedicated to help you find it in the most simple, quickest, and most natural way. So if you're interested in that, just head over to bizandflow.com and strike up a conversation with us, whether on the contact page or over at the Work With Us page. So we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Good night.